Well, everyone knows that this is an exceptionally important election coming up, and we know that if we are going to turn this country around, we need a new president, and we need in Missouri to retire Senator Claire McCaskill. And we know the person to do it is here. So really, without any further ado, it's an honor to introduce the next senator from the great state of Missouri, John Brunner.
Thank you very, very much. Well, this is unbelievable here, but I have to start by doing a little shout out here for my wife. Jan's here today. I have a couple of my kids here. My son John, Jenny, my daughter, my son-in-law's Billy around. Yeah, working. He's putting up signs. Okay, we got. So we're all in here on this campaign here, working together, and you know that's the only way you can win a race. Is give everything you have, all your time, and all your effort, and all your prayers, and pull it all together in terms of this great cause that we have going forward here. It's been a point of inspiration here as I consider this campaign just a little over a year ago. And I heard about a guy from Wisconsin who never ran for office before. And I thought, oh, there's a connection. A guy who's in manufacturing before, that's a connection. Had 3 kids, that's good. Wife, that's still there. All these things. I said, I got to go meet this guy. And I said, well, you know, but I got to bring my wife up too, because we got to meet her, his wife, to really find the true story of what's going on. And they were very, very gracious. Senator Johnson and his wife said, sure, come on by, and graciously took us to dinner here. And there's a couple stories that I've told on the campaign trail, and some of you haven't heard it yet, so for the 3 of you who haven't, I'll retell the story. But, you know, first of all, we sat down for dinner with well, first of all, when I met Senator Johnson, he says, my name is Ron. I think, I'm going to like this guy. He's Ron, not Senator Johnson. Well, I called him a couple weeks ago, and I had a question. I said, Senator Johnson, I have a question on this particular vote issue. And he says, John, I told you my name's Ron. And I said, well, Ron, I'm just checking to see whether you drink the Kool-Aid yet or not. And he says, there never will be, no how, no way. But anyway, we were sitting down for dinner, and first of all, Ron Johnson turns to me and he says, you know how bad things are in Washington? I want to tell you, just being up here a short time, it's much, much worse than you could possibly ever imagine. I said, well, that sounds like a great career path for me here, but I'm not in it for a career, so no problem. And then he comes out and says, you know, have you ever tried to get anything done in Washington, D.C. with 57 lawyers around a table? He said, this is impossible. He said, these folks come to work every morning trying to put their name on a bill or a building or on a news cycle. He says, I'm trying to put budgets together, plans together, get this country turned around. It's unbelievable. And he says, I tell you what, John, if you and your wife decide to get involved with your whole family on this race, you're going to find everything good that you've ever done torn to shreds, called politics. I said, wow, that sounds like a fun opportunity. And he said, but should you come through at the opposite end here and win this election, he said, we'll be able to double the number of manufacturers in the U.S. Senate to 2, and I'll have someone to talk to. He came down here today just to be sure that he hadn't lost faith and hope and confidence, because he's still looking for someone to talk to. But no, he's done a fantastic job, and it's been an inspiration. And as he's inspired me and many others, I hope to inspire others to continue on this process. The fact that you all are here today is an inspiration to me, to your passion and dedication, because just as John Seaton said, this is beyond me. It's about a cause. It's about getting our country back on track. It's about the things we care about. It's about giving big government off our backs and unleashing the free enterprise spirit that we all have, whether it's as educators or in business or in medicine or in agriculture. Whatever we do, we know we can get this country back on track if we just get big government out of the way. Anyway, as you all know, I'm not in here for a career. I'm not in here for a job. I'm here to join with you folks here in a common cause to get our country back on track and get Missouri and America working again today. It's because of people like Ron Johnson, who likewise jumped into his race, in a tough race in Wisconsin, and fought the good fight, and is making a difference right now in Washington, D.C., that the cumulative impact, as people would say, John, what can one person do? Well, everything starts with one person. And I ask any of you who are here today, someone said, well, where are you going? Well, what can one person do, and why are you showing up? because there's not one here, there's a whole crowd. And each of you represent a lot of more people that you can pull together. And so it all starts with one. And one attracts others, and before you know this, this becomes a big force going across the whole state of Missouri, and we'll be able to make the change that we all want to see happen right here in Missouri. So it's going to be a great campaign. Things are really kicking off now. Someone reminded me today on email from Washington, D.C. They said, John, don't forget to eat on the campaign trail. I reminded them that's scheduled here on Thanksgiving in terms of my next meal. And they said, well, watch out for those people. They're going to control your time too much. I said, we got a race to run. We're going to do everything we can. We're all in. We're working around the clock. We're going to win this race. So, folks, thanks for being here today. But most importantly, Ron Johnson, thanks for what you've done and you stepping out here. I have a unique appreciation, a little bit now, a little insight in terms of what it takes to run a race. The time is no longer your own. It's always about giving to others to help the country. And Ron was telling me a little while ago that they had an old canoe in his backyard. It's been sitting upside down for about 10 years. They turned it right side up and went canoeing on Sunday. And now he's back here on the road across America trying to help get this country back on track. So you appreciate those few times with the family, but you realize that's why you're in this race. It's not just for your own family, but it's for our greater family and for the folks in Missouri and across the country. Ron, thank you for being here. Really appreciate it.